Yo, 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 what's going on? Welcome to episode 9 of Unfiltered. I'm your host, ChanmanV, and joining me as always is Steven over here. What's up, Steven?
What's up, man?
You watching the stream by chance?
Yeah, I just turned it on. Why?
Nothing? Nothing. So how's your week been, man? How's your week been?
My week's been great. How's your week been?
Good, good, good. So I figured we would, what should we do? What should we do? Oh shoot, hold on, give me a second. I'm messing with this. There we go. So I figured we would go through some topics that kind of came up last week in the chat, and then we would kind of bring up some new ones, like, well, it's a recurring one, which is WCS. WCS is like every week, man. I try to avoid bringing it up, but when there's like the NA finals and there's the season finals coming up, it's kind of hard to avoid. But,
Sure thing.
why don't we start off with that? We'll start off with just the WCS stuff. Have you been keeping up with it at all?
Nope, not at all. This
Not
is
at
all you, buddy.
Fuck, man, shit, I should just... All right, real quick then. Just WCS NA. Actually, I'll kind of segue this into the Star Striker stuff. So
Now you're destroying the community.
yeah, I'm killing eSports, man, with my Star Strikers events. But no, season 1 groupings were happened last night. Hopefully you guys saw it. I caught the first half of it, and then I actually fell asleep because it was so late. But they did the drawings. It was a kind of a live drawing for the groups, the 4 groups of 16 players from all 3 regions. And the groups look pretty crazy. And since you haven't seen it, I don't think we're going to be talking about it much. But 3 foreigners and 13 Koreans, so I'm rooting for those foreigners.
North America finals, good.
That's exactly right. No North Americans involved. True North Americans, that is. But yeah, so hopefully you guys will check it out. WCS NA finals were this past weekend, and Liquid Hero won it all. Had a couple foreigners in it. They weren't North Americans, but we did have Moonglade and Snoot in the finals, and they did pretty well. I think Snoot had a couple good games. He didn't get as far as Moonglade. I think Moonglade had a few really good showings, but in the end, it was pretty much an all-Korean semifinals, as a lot of people predicted this season, and Liquid Hero pulled out the win. Good for Liquid Hero. He's a good guy, and he's I think a lot of people know Hero just from the past, and DreamHacks and all that good stuff. So pretty cool. But the reason I thought it would be a good segue is into the SuperStar Strikers topic is because for those of you who know, I did this Star Strikers event that kind of combined pros and personalities with the community, and overall, it was a really, really successful event, and the only little flack I've been getting is just that, why did I schedule it over WCS NA, and that's, seems to be the most common question. And the reason I did it is mostly because of a scheduling purpose. Like, had nothing to do with WCS NA, had nothing to do with MLG, nothing like that. It was just purely who was available, like when people were available, when it fit my schedule too, and unfortunately this past weekend was the only date that would work. So that's what we ended up doing. And anyways, there's been some comments about just all the personalities, I guess, streaming and doing that bit during my event kind of pulled viewers away from the WCS NA, and I think that's just crazy, honestly. I don't know. What do you think about all that, Steven? Before I actually give my thoughts on it.
Man. I don't know. I mean, it doesn't. You can schedule it however you want. You're not part of the WCS circuit, so it's not like you have any obligation to them.
Yeah, it's not really that. It's more so the thoughts that we're always talking about supporting NA, right? We're always supporting and growing NA here, and doing an event during the WCS NA finals is just how is that actually helping NA and that whole.
I mean, yeah, wait, the supporting NA, like the WCS NA has nothing to do with supporting NA anyway. Like you said, there were 14 Koreans in the round of 16. I mean,
yep. I mean, part of me agrees with that, absolutely. And another note too is that Star Strikers is part of StarCraft too. Also, guys, so these type of events also promote just this game, and trying growing this game, just another aspect of this game. And given just how, I mean, a lot of people actually enjoyed it, like enjoyed it thoroughly, and some people enjoyed it more than WCS. So
Sure.
I think it's more of a reflection on just WCS more so than me scheduling a star, just any kind of event at the same
It
time.
makes me wonder, like, how much could I be hated, like, to try to like kill tournaments? Do people really think that it works like that? So, like, the next time there's a WCNA thing going on, I'm gonna message Deezer and Combat X and ask them if they want to play threes. So I'll have like 15,000 viewers watching that shit while a tournament's going on. Do you think people will blame me for like pulling viewers away from? It's kind of silly, you know.
Well,
Like,
of course they're gonna ban him. They're blaming me of all people,
Yeah, I
somebody
mean,
who supports the fuck out of North America. They're they're gonna be all over your ass for sure. So
it's a little bit silly.
yeah, exactly. But anyways, yeah, just getting back to it, it was a great success. Everybody had a ton of fun, and lots of people. Well, those of you that didn't watch it, Kings of 10, DJ Wheat's team, and Waxton's, they ended up winning. They were paired up with two of the best Star Striker players in the community, as well. There were probably 10 of the top Star Strikers players playing
Would you
in the
say
tournament.
they're GM at Star Strikers?
Dude, absolutely, dude. If there was a GM rating, they are by far like they're top 10 GM for sure. And the one thing I have to say about the game, and one thing I noticed, and I was talking to Wheat, and it was pretty eye opening for them too, is that playing 4v4 in Star Strikers is surprisingly very. I mean, the skill involved in playing 4v4 in Star Strikers is pretty high actually. It's a little bit analogous to playing MOBAs in LoL, I have to say, because obviously you're just controlling one character, and you have a limited number of powers that are unique to you. And there's a lot of teamwork involved. And, obviously everybody thinks the Star Strikers is a very casual game. But when you're playing at the top level, it's actually very impressive. It's
really easily accessible. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of depth to the game. I mean, like, you could play it pretty seriously, and there'd be like a pretty big skill gap between a really good player and a really bad player.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, like you said, it's very accessible. It's soccer based, right, with StarCraft 2 mixed into it, and it's easy to understand, like super easy to understand, even if you don't know anything about the StarCraft 2 characters. And like the great plays are really easy to point out too. It's not like StarCraft where it's like you have to explain every little thing just to point out why this guy is so amazing, right? Like, oh, you don't understand. He's like building units and expanding and expanding his economy and all this stuff at the same time as controlling his players, and that bit, right? It's definitely much easier for the average eye to even catch. So that was one thing that I thought was pretty appealing, and I think it's actually worth looking into. So I mean, for sure, I'm going to do another event, and we'll see what else ends up coming from it. But
you got to get some prize pool shit rolling there, dude.
Dude, man, the prize pool is having your team and your name all plastered on the loading screen every night, so everybody that plays Star Strikers right now is seeing it. But later on, I'll figure out something. I don't know if it's obviously when we start introducing prize pools, it becomes a whole another dynamic. So I'll probably figure out something fun again. And what was cool is that all the personalities like Day 9 and JP and Wheat and all those guys, they had a blast. So
you could get like Papa John's to sponsor you and everything. It'd be awesome.
Exactly. Pizza, baby. Pizza and eSports. Speaking of which, pizza and eSports, I saw you comment on my good climbing the ladder buddy Richard Lewis's Cadrid article on the on the Papa John's at eSports. So let's go into that real quick. So thoughts on the article first. What do you think of Richard's article?
First of all, I want to preface this with people are multidimensional. Everybody has multiple facets to their personality. Just because you don't like one part of a person's personality doesn't mean you hate him as a whole, right?
You talking about yourself, or are you talking about Richard?
Everybody in life. Just because you don't like one thing about somebody, right. Just because you're not perfect, obviously you're Asian, it doesn't mean I don't hate you. Like.
Thanks, man.
Okay, no, I'm just kidding. You know what I mean, though, right? So being said, have you ever visited the subreddit Politics?
Of course. I mean, geez, who hasn't?
Okay, that was like one of the most heavily editorialized European. Richard Lewis is European, isn't he? He has to be.
He's a Brit.
Okay, because it read very much like it.
Have you not read any of his other editorials?
Yeah,
They're all like that, dude.
Oh well, I mean, like I haven't read a bunch of his editorials, but in regards to like his stance on healthcare, like everything came in. First of all, we came in with like our economics 101 throwdown of like. This, we need social help, blah blah blah, and then after like you're supposed to take all of these things just like at face value, like okay, well holy shit, then like, I mean, after that, it's obvious that Papa John's is evil, and then like we shouldn't support. Like it read like a huge editorial about how much he hated like the current economics of the United States and how we handle healthcare, and then like somehow that bridged into fuck esports
I
support
didn't
Papa
get
John's.
that. I didn't get that part of it. Really?
Okay, I'm sorry. Let me start off. Let me start off with this. Whether or
fine.
not healthcare should be socialized, or how employees treat or how employees treat the employees in terms of wage and all that, that's all up for debate. Like it's none, there is no solid answer. There's not a right or a wrong answer when it comes to any of that. But like he started the article off with, if anybody supports these positions, then they're evil, and then it like led into naturally that, oh well, Papa John supports these positions, so they must be evil, and then like from there on out, it was like esports shouldn't pick up sponsors that are evil, and it's like okay.
This is the article, guys, I'm showing you right now, that Richard's article on Cadre. And for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, basically, there's been, obviously, Papa John's, that whole bit, I think all of us were pretty much involved with, supporting esports and the whole pizza that whole week, right, with EG and TL and Root. And, Richard wrote an article about this, some kind of news that came up about the, the CEO of Papa John's, basically claiming that he would have to cut jobs or cut hours. What was it? It was cut hours or reduce wage.
Cut jobs are gonna either one,
Yeah,
or increase the
one,
price
right?
of.
Because of Obamacare, right? If Obamacare
Sure.
passed, and so obviously there's been a lot of negative talk, just that basically the Papa John's CEO just kind of trying to, I don't know, trying to leverage support for, or just to not pass the Obamacare, and that sort of bit. And I guess Richard was just saying, like, do we need these type of people in esports? And
Sure. And I mean, like, this is the point that I'm trying to get across, is that it's not like if the Papa John CEO was found to be like a rapist and a pedophile, like that's one thing.
Oh God.
If the Papa John's guy was like a serial killer or like something horrible, like something terrible, like if he did really bad shit, then like I could understand us starting to question, like, do we really want these? Like, do we really want the Ku Klux Klan sponsoring, like Team EG? Like stuff like that is more obvious. But like literally, like Papa John's, the CEO, just has a political opinion, and we're talking about censoring sponsors in esports because of their politics. Like, that's not the kind of fight that we need to be having on the battleground of esports. It's not appropriate for this venue. Most of the people that are into esports have never even had a fucking real job before. Why do we want to take this mantle up and make this our fight? Like, we don't want to shit up everything with that. This is an issue that's too complicated for most people in this sector of the world to argue, or this part of the internet to argue. And it's just not worth losing a AAA sponsor, a top dollar, like an amazing sponsor, over something as stupid as we're going to argue about politics. Like, it's a really, really, really short-sighted, dumb, pointless, because nothing good will come out of it. It's not like Papa John's going to change their opinion because they're just going to pull their spine and be like, fuck this shit. Why would I worry about a bunch of whiny little kids giving me bad PR? Like, fuck that. They would just pull their shit. Nothing's going to change. Like,
yeah, I agree. I mean, it's
This is compared to like me arguing about like whether or not you should be able to say the faggot word or racial slurs or whatever. It's not worth it for me to make that fight. Like, there are other people that want to argue about that. There's other areas to argue about that. It's not worth it for me to jeopardize my own well-being personally by taking that mantle on and taking that fight up. Like, that's something that I learned for myself personally.
Yep.
And I can see like esports doesn't need to be turned into the battleground of healthcare in the United States. Like, it's just so incredibly inappropriate for anybody here to take that kind of fight on. I don't know. In my personal opinion, I don't think it's ever worth worrying about the politics of the CEO of a huge company that wants to sponsor us.
Let's be real. Like, we can't be that picky. Like, we can't have parameters that are so strict anyways. We need money in esports. And like you said, as long as it's not this guy is egregiously a terrible person, it's business. That's what it's all about. So, so I think, again, it was... Richard in his articles definitely, I don't know, trying to pull some strings. That's just how he is, right? And definitely interesting, definitely worth discussing. But big news just announced. I don't know if you know, Evil Genius just picked up a player who I think is worth talking about because it's a very interesting pickup. You know about it at all? Have you seen Twitter?
Xenocider guy?
Yeah. Let's talk about that real quick. So Xenocider. So how much do you know about Lebo? Do you know him at all?
He's like 12 years old or something, isn't he? Not that young. He's pretty damn
No,
young.
he's
Is he like
young. He's
15?
definitely he's 16 or 17, I believe.
16 or something?
Yeah,
Okay.
like when I knew him, he was 16. I mean, when I first met him, he was 16. So, really good kid. I mean, he's been an up and comer for a long time. Been on small teams in the past. Like, was he on Fortnite? I can't remember if he was on. He wasn't on the recent Fortnite, obviously, because it got picked up. But pretty interesting pickup actually, because again, he's not an established name by any means. If anything, he's an up and coming NA player, and he's played a ton of play-ums in the past. Played the likes of Revival many times. I don't know how many times I've seen him play Revival and play-ums through the years, like the last year or two. So, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think about the pickup? What do you think about Evil Genius's, or what do you think Evil Genius is thinking with this move?
I mean, it's an okay pickup. I don't like Evil Geniuses as a team. They have to change a lot of shit to get their stuff together. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. There's nothing I can say. I mean, it'd be nice if they did a lot of like up and coming stuff and like actually got their training and shit together. But right now, it's just kind of a PR move. I mean, I don't know. Like they pick him up. I don't imagine they're paying him that much.
Yeah, that's probably
But
true.
they were paying Idris, so the replacement is nice in terms of them saving money. They don't really have the infrastructure in place to actually train players. Like who's he going to go practice with? They're going to send Xenocider to Korea? Like, I don't know. It'll just depend on how they treat things and what happens, I guess. We'll just have to wait
Yeah,
and see.
I mean, I figure at the very least they'll pay for his trips to like MLG, right? MLG,
Yeah,
Anaheim,
well,
and
yeah,
some
of
these
course. Yeah,
stand-ups,
if you're
right?
on EG, you have to be getting those trips paid at least.
Yeah, and Zeno, I mean, I don't think Lebo was making some of those trips, so that's actually pretty cool for him. And I mean, this pickup seems a little bit analogous to the Suppy one at the time. Obviously, Suppy's had success, and he actually had some pretty big upsets or pretty big victories and that sort of thing leading up to the pickup. But
Sure.
it feels like one of the that type of move, and even if it is PR, I mean, I think it's a good thing.
Has
I mean,
Suppy done much since getting on EG? I know that I always see
yeah,
every now and then he has like a really nice game, but has he gotten a good place in anything?
I mean, from the grand scheme of like the big
Dream
tournaments.
hacks,
Yeah. I
WCS.
mean,
Yeah,
he's made like he made the Premier League of NA, right? He was like one of the only NA people to make it. It was him and one other person. I can't remember who it is right now, but so he made that. He hasn't made it deep into some of these big tournaments, but he has gotten he's had some big victories against Koreans, and those type of victories. But the big thing about Suppy though is he's he's almost like the face of CSL, the Collegiate StarCraft League. So,
yeah.
I mean, in that in itself, right there, EG from the standpoint of having somebody. I mean, they have somebody in that sector too now that's like to the face. Not to mention, Suppy's just a huge community person too.
Yeah.
So, Suppy totally makes sense. And so, Xenocider's actually none of those things. You know what I mean? Xenocider's just straight up a somebody who does stream some, but it's not a popular stream, and he's just literally potential talent in my opinion. So he's a really good player. Like I've always said that Lebo has a ton of potential, and it'd be interesting to see one of the complexities. Or I never thought EG would pick him up, so I was thinking like complexity or maybe Quanake at the time, and those type of guys would pick him up, and what could happen. But he's definitely cheap though. There's no I doubt they're playing him salary. I'd be really surprised if the $50 a month salary or something like that. I don't know
That'll
what
be
it
that
is.
low, but
Are you allowed to pay somebody $50 a month?
pay whatever you want, man. It's esports.
Yeah.
It's the beauty of 1040s, bro, or 1099s. I don't know.
Right. Well, okay. Well, I'm sure we'll be hearing it much more on some of the shows that talk much more about EG things, especially tonight on shows right after this show.
Sure.
But let's move on. All right, let's talk about your monthly update here on your workout and maybe some of your fantasy league and anything else you're working on project wise. So why don't you start out with your convict workout? What was it called again? It's
Convict conditioning.
convict conditioning. How's that
Yeah,
going, man?
it's going good. I'm having fun.
So I mean, come on, results. Any
I don't know. I mean, I
weight
still
loss,
look the
any
same. Well, I've been
weight
doing
gain?
it for like a month, but fuck.
Well, you said the
I
soreness is gone, right, from last week. You
Yeah.
mentioned that.
yeah,
That's good.
That's cool. I'm able to like mow the lawn or go on like long fucking walks all day, like go out all day and do shit, and I'm not sore the next day. Usually, I'd be like sore for the entire day after doing anything, like moving boxes or hauling computers around or
Yeah.
whatever. So that's cool.
Okay, cool.
Um,
Cool.
I got this shake thing, which is a fucking amazing. This thing,
Let
I
me
used
see
to have
this.
trouble mixing like the protein stuff before, but I've had that thing. I just never knew how to use it. It's like magic.
Well, it has. What does it have inside it that helps like break it up? It has something
It's
in it,
got
right?
like, yeah, it's got a little white mesh. This thing, so
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can
yeah.
just
I know what you
shake the
mean.
shit out of it.
There you go. There
There
you
you go.
go. What type of you're so you're on protein?
Yeah, I just do the gold standard hydrolyzed whey shit.
Oh yeah, yeah. What flavor?
Double chocolate. Everybody recommended the double chocolate. That's
Oh
pretty
really?
good.
Okay, double chocolate. I tried. Well, it wasn't that brand, but I tried double chocolate for a while, and I don't know, like the first few sips, like yeah, this is good, this is good, and it's just like oh man, by like the 10th sip or 15th chug, it's like oh, so it kind of starts tasting bad. So I ended up getting the oh shit, what was it? It was like cookie ice or vanilla ice cream. I think it was like vanilla ice cream. That's the flavor I ended up getting. That's actually pretty good, man. If you ever
Really? I
try,
heard a
yeah.
lot of people tell me to steer clear from the vanilla, so I didn't try it.
Oh no, not vanilla. It's vanilla ice cream. Or
Oh,
I think
huh,
it's vanilla ice cream flavor. I think that's what it is. But
maybe. I
anyways.
like buying the really big bags, so I have to be cautious. Like, I don't want to buy like a 15-pound bag
Well, I
and
bought
not like the flavor.
the giant fucking tub that lasts me like 2 months,
Yeah.
3 months, or something like that. So, yeah, watching it, chat. But cool. So, how about your fantasy league? Like, we haven't heard much about the fantasy league the
I'm
last
doing a
few
lot of
shows.
shit on my website. I'm doing.
All right, let's take a
You
look
want
at
to hear
this.
like my whole business plan or what?
Hold
Have you-
on,
did you
let
read
me
my
get
little
to it. Let me
website?
do it. Let's hear it, man. That's what we do.
Oh shit. So, I'm not. Hold on, I gotta see who's in this chat channel.
Where do I click, man? I don't want to watch your stream, man. Shit. Your stream's what the hell? What is this? You're still running? You're
Oh.
still running your stream with nothing
It's
on it?
muted. It's muted.
Oh
Nobody.
my god.
Will you calm your tits? I'm
Look at
citing
this.
viewers.
Look at this stream.
It's
Wait,
the
which-
mountain. It's beautiful. It's Bob Ross inspired.
This the mountain with some kind of empty frame and a. Okay, all right. Anyways, tell me this business plan, man. Tell me this business plan.
So my goal is to my goal is to offload as much stuff as possible from Twitch onto my side. I don't know if you've been keeping up, but Twitch is moving. I fear.
You fear what?
I fear. Okay, so remember what I said earlier? Just because you don't like a particular aspect of someone doesn't mean you hate all of them, right?
Okay.
So the same applies for businesses too, because I'm an evil libertarian and I believe businesses are people, right?
Sure, sure.
So I don't like the way that Twitch is going down the subscriber route. Kind of sounds like subs are getting scrapped for Turbo. I know that they've said 50 trillion times and 20 million responses, and maybe they'll make a response to what I'm saying now that they're not going to get rid of subscribers, but it doesn't feel that way to me. With the way that they're marketing Turbo, new people getting the subscriber button are not getting the option to block ads as well. Like, even if you subscribe to somebody now, you still see ads. It's pretty much just a
Wait,
donation.
when did that happen? Really?
Go look up,
No.
go to
Seriously?
google.com and search for Soda Pop and Twitch.
Wait. Soda Pop and hold on a second. Let me do this. Soda Pop and Twitch.
Soda Pop and Twitch.
Soda Pop and Twitch. Let me see this. Okay, Soda Poppin' is a
his
user
channel?
account. Okay, yeah.
Click his channel, click subscribe.
You want me to subscribe to this shit? What do you mean?
Just
Oh,
click the
okay.
fucking button. Oh my god. And then you see benefits include directly supports the
Alright,
broadcaster.
let me see this.
doesn't
Hold on,
block-
hold on. Hey, Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, so I see benefits, right?
Yeah.
Oh, so it's not listener in there.
Yeah, go. If you look at mine, it used to be listed that they would block ads, and then they've released official statements saying that they're not going to be blocking ads anymore.
Huh.
It's pretty iffy, man. So, I understand the rationale behind it, which is that people don't subscribe to block ads, they subscribe to support the streamer, blah, blah, and that's cool, and I kind of understand that. But if that's true, then I don't need them to take a 50-50 split from a subscriber
Yeah, so
fee.
man, so I had this. Oh gosh, I had this long.
What?
I had the same discussion with Kevin Lynn at the time.
All right,
I
let's
think-
have some real facts. Let's
It was
go.
like
Let's
a
have this-
month or two ago. No, it was when they first launched Turbo, and I had a huge like I was completely against it, and was talking to him, and I was supposed to talk to the product team, but that meeting just never happened. I can't even remember why it never happened. But yeah, like I think the notion of the subscriber button only being like a donate button is really bad, because that's not what it is, right? I mean, it's supposed to be much more than that. And us as broadcasters, right, as channel owners, we can provide like a lot of product offerings to entice people to subscribe, right? I mean, that's kind of what we, I kind of think of the subscriber button as like
subscriber ARAM, subscriber Star Striker.
Yeah,
whatever,
if you subscribe to me, I feel like I should give you something. I mean, it shouldn't be like a donate button. So when you subscribe to me, I do giveaways from time to time, and I try to do what I can, right? And part of it was just that default no ads, right? That Twitch kind of provided as a platform, and for those of you who don't know, Twitch takes a 50%. I mean, I think it might be different, but for the most part, I think the default is like half, of the subscriber money. So those $5 you pay, most of the time, Twitch is going to make half of that, $2.50, and so we only make like half of that. So what should they make half? Well, I think of course they should make a no. They should make a rev share if it's on Twitch.
10% at the most. 10% at the most, man. Half is a brutal.
Oh, I mean, we can discuss percentage, but they should make a rev share, given that it's their it's their platform.
It is their platform, but they get paid from the platform via advertising. That's how Twitch makes its money. Somebody wants to subscribe to me personally, and they want it, and they don't even get like the benefit of seeing no ads, then Twitch is still making money on them the same way that they would, and they're making probably more money on them than the average person, because if that person's subscribing to a stream, they probably watch more than the average user anyway. Twitch doesn't need to take any more than like a 10% cut. I understand that there are some Twitch admins that say whatever about how they have to put the infrastructure in place. I don't buy that. That's bullshit. Payment processing has been figured out on the internet for the past 15 years. PayPal exists. There are all sorts of ways to very easily handle payment processing. There's not a lot of infrastructure involved. The programming for it is easy. Like, I don't understand the justification for taking such an enormous split. Anything more than 10% just seems like highway robbery, especially if they're not even going to be blocking ads as a result,
Yeah, so, I mean, taking away ads makes it even more egregious. I think that the 50% is way too much. But yeah, I mean, I agree. I don't know if it should be 10%, but I could understand.
Yeah,
maybe
no,
like
you're
20,
right. You're right. Probably closer to
5%.
5%.
I mean, come on, dude, come on. That subscribe button, honestly, as much as I've done the PayPal thing too. Okay, done the PayPal custom subscribe button, but the placement of that subscribe button, because it's in their platform, is a million times better. I mean, you have to agree, right?
Here's the problem. The problem is that now what I'm doing is I'm starting to build a whole bunch of infrastructure on my own website, and I'm going to be offloading subscriptions entirely to my website. So if you want to subscribe, you can do it to me directly through my website. So instead of negotiating different payment cuts or making it such that they don't take such a massive pay cut, there's absolutely no motivation now for me to have Twitch sell subscribers to me. I don't need somebody to handle payment processing for me. Like I said, that's been figured out for the past 5 to 15 years. Like, we already know how to do that on the internet. So I'll just offload all my subscribers to me. I'll collect 98% of the revenue instead of the 50% I get on Twitch. And now they're just like out that money, Like it doesn't. It just seems strange.
I mean, the only thing I have to say is, like, I totally agree with you, and I've gone through the same exercise too, because I started off with the subscribe button before I actually got the Twitch subscribe, the PayPal subscribe button before I actually got the Twitch one. And quite honestly, I probably had a lot more PayPal subscribers than I did Twitch. And and like Steven said, you make all of it versus half of it, right? For the same thing. Like, I'm still providing the same product offerings that I was before. So there's no difference. I'm just like literally giving them 50% just for the placement. The placement's better, and just for the usability aspect of it, right? Just people are so used to using the Twitch.
I mean, the placement's okay, but you can just put it underneath your channel, like subscribe here and then mention it. Like, I don't know if just the button being placed there is such that, like, it's
in the new UI too. The new UI too. I feel like if you just
let's say I have 1,000 subscribers right now, and I switch to my own system, and only 600 come. I lose 40% of my subscribers. Still making more money. Like,
yeah. People say ad block. I for some reason I'm ad blocking your site. I don't ad block TL or Twitch.
Well, way to go, man.
But so how are you doing it? I mean, so let's take a look at your site. So how do people subscribe to your site, actually?
The way that
Crazy.
so here's what I'm doing with my site right now. The idea is we're gonna build a chat system from the ground up using like WebSockets or something, something non fucking Adobe related, no
Okay, so not
Flash, no.
IRC, like not
No,
some kind
no,
of
no, no,
IRC
no,
bot,
no
that type of
backend, none of
thing.
that.
Okay,
No,
okay,
hell
got
no.
it,
It's
got
gonna
it.
be our own chat from the ground up. And the
Okay.
idea is you'll make an account on my website, and that account will be, if you subscribe, it'll be flagged as a subscriber account. But that account will be what you use to chat on the website with, in my little chat program or whatever, or however we decide to go that route. And then I'll have that link to my subreddit in some way, such that if you're a subscriber, you get flair or some shit like that. And then anything like having to do like my fantasy league, like that'll be
Yeah,
managed with the account on my website. Basically, the idea is to get off of the Twitch chat and the Twitch API as much as possible.
I see. I see. So no thoughts of having an aggregate of the Twitch chat and your chat in your chat?
No, I
No.
don't like the Twitch chat for a few reasons. One, Twitch gets really mad when bad stuff gets linked in there, like if pornography or whatever gets linked in there, and I don't have the ability to control
So
that
you want
chat
porn?
because they won't let us IP ban. No, I can't IP ban. I'm not gonna have people shouting at me for bad shit in chat or whatever
Oh, I see.
if
I
I don't
see.
have the option to IP ban. Like fuck you. Like that reminds me of some shit where they would schedule me with one employee on like a really busy night shift at the casino, and then I'd be getting shit the next day when the day shift manager came in and like all the tables were dirty. It's like fuck, like schedule me more employees if you want me to do something. Like I can't have just I'm not gonna keep my employee for 15 hours because you won't schedule me another worker. Fuck you.
Hmm.
And it's kind of the same too. Like I'm not gonna stress about managing my Twitch chat and having subscriber mode only on and all that shit all the time just because I don't have the option to IP ban people. I can't deal with trolls. Like I've got one. Like the only reason my chat is even as good as it is because I have a really amazing guy who's got this program, this bot in there that bans like 0 day accounts and shit like that.
Hmm.
But like that guy's banned like 1,600 people. Like holy shit, how many of that is how many of those are duplicate accounts? The people that run in and spam their YouTube link and shit. Like how many people have been scammed in my chat? I don't even know. I don't know the actual numbers, but like somebody comes in like, "Hey, free RP, click this link," and you ban them, but they're just going to be back on a different account later. Like the lack of controls in the Twitch chat are very frustrating, and it seems like they haven't done anything in a long time to help that.
Hmm. Hmm.
And it's
Okay,
just really
that's pretty
frustrating.
interesting.
It's really frustrating that like, and again, I'm not talking shit, and I'm not a programmer, but I mean, I understand a lot of the concepts of web development. Like, I have a web dev that I talk to.
I'm a web
There are
developer,
so
so
many issues with Twitch that have been solved. Like, they're not mysterious anymore. I don't know, understand how they still have problems with it. Like things like the advertisements unmuting and shit. Like, you can do that. Like, you don't need the excuses. Like, just have one guy or make a team. Like, you could literally get a team of volunteers who would do it for free just because they like the platform to just cycle through ads to make sure that they don't unmute. Like, to just sit and watch ads for like 30 minutes every night.
yeah.
Or why, like, for the mobile platform, like, they could literally just open a GitHub, fucking open source it. Like, somebody please just make a mobile app for that for our Twitch streams. Like, I guarantee you there are people who are skilled enough in the community to make an app for Twitch's mobile that would be infinitely better than what they have now. I bet they could do it in 2 months,
I mean,
and it would
there
be
you could. I mean, I could honestly, but it's just Twitch's app is. I feel like Twitch's app is fine right now. Um, no, I
really?
actually no.
Because
I had a lot
really,
of complaints about it. Believe me, throughout.
unless it like just recently got really good, like within the
It
past update.
I never have to restart the thing ever anymore. I used to have to restart it like once every 5 minutes, but now
I
it's
I mean maybe I don't know. Like I've heard a lot of complaints about the app, unless like the most
it's updated.
recent
No, their
update.
update was good because I tried out their beta at one point. Like they had me try out their beta version of this update, but the latest update is really good. So I don't have that much complaints about the at least the reliability of the streams once you're on it. Before it was horrible, but now it's like the last I can think
Is
of
there
probably
ability?
3 weeks I've
Is
done
it?
it.
Can you search for streams? People are saying like only the top 300 streams are on there. There's no chat. You can't search for streams.
There's a search. There's always been a search.
But they took it out in like the last patch.
Let me see. That's not. I
Oh
don't
boy.
think that's right. I'm looking right now. Looking right now. There's always been a search in this thing. That'd be crazy not to have a
There,
search.
there
I
has
mean,
always
come
been a
on,
search, but they took it
jeez.
out in
No,
last, and that's why so many
dude,
people
it's
got
on the
mad.
top, dude. It's on the
Is it
top.
updated?
Oh, you can't see it.
Is it
That's too bright.
is it updated? Do you have the updated
I-
patch right now?
I mean, I always have the latest, yeah, but they've always had a search. Come on, they've
Oh,
always had
maybe
a
on
search.
Android.
Oh my
Maybe
god,
on
the
Android.
discovery would be
Do you have
just
iOS?
bullshit. iOS has it for sure. Android. Oh,
Okay,
okay.
okay.
So the Android app has always been behind. That's true.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
for sure.
Well,
Yeah.
that's like something easy. Like they can make a GitHub, they can make a public
Why?
thing. They can even make a private. You can use like Bitbucket or whatever, make like a private
Oh
thing.
my god,
And only let like
there really is no search on the Android one. Oh my god. Okay,
Yeah,
that's
dude, the internet thing got fucked. But like, regardless of all
that's
the finer
crazy.
points, like you could
Okay.
have a perfect app made by the community with trillions of features updated all for free. Like they wouldn't even. I bet you could get people to work on it for free. All they would ask is like a referral, like
Dude,
a link, like at the end, like
well,
hey, check out some
you
of my
can
work. They
do it
would do
right
it for
now,
free.
Steven. I mean, their APIs are public. You could people could do it right now.
No, why would I? I'm not getting paid for it.
No, I'm
Fuck
just saying
that.
like anybody if they wanted like you said like well the community could do it.
To
Well,
make
the
their own
community can do
Twitch
it
app.
right.
Well, I mean, I
I mean,
guess
they
they
can
could,
do it
but
right
why
now.
can't Twitch have like an official app? Like fuck.
You know how they are. I mean, nobody's ever going to let the community build your, that's something that's going to be white
That
labeled your
that
brand.
that
I mean, come
doesn't.
on.
You know how they are. Like I understand that people say that, but like
Any business is like
it
that.
was
Nobody's
okay
going to
until
do
like
that.
you read through the AMAs and Twitch is talking about how they want to start competing with like YouTube and stuff when like Google Live comes on and it's like they're not in a position to do it at all right now.
Well, I
Like
mean,
if Google Live went live like for real and they took
yeah.
streaming seriously, like Twitch would go out of business. They would go dark in like 3 to 6 months. Like there's no possible way in its current state with ads unmuting like crazy, the lag problems and the constantly we're getting new servers up and
Well, I like that conversation I had with Kevin. I mean, I'm probably talking a lot about this. It's a private conversation, but it's nothing to hide. I mean, I told him straight up. It's like you should be trying to compete with just YouTube, not even just YouTube Live. I'm telling you, you should be just trying to compete with YouTube right now. And
sure.
what you do have on YouTube is your live streaming portion of it. And this was all about the whole subscriber change, right, and Turbo and everything. And I was like, you have the opportunity to make each of us like our own business. Like each of our channels our own business. You're already seeing people already making money and making a small living right now doing streamers, just full time streamers. So why don't you
Yeah.
enhance that? Why don't you give us more product offerings? Why don't you give us a one time buy option instead of a subscription option? Why don't you let us sell T-shirts? You can just enhance the payment feature, the payment
Yeah.
module of
Well, like
of
that's
Twitch,
that's
and
even
it's
going. That's all stuff they should be doing, but that's like even above and beyond because we still have to get like the basics down. Like,
what base the basics. What do you like?
how
What do you
about like
mean?
not lagging in Europe, like shit like that.
Well, come on, that's infrastructure versus like
Yeah, but
front
the
end.
infrastructure has to be
But
there.
that's front
Like
end. I mean,
I
I'm talking
understand, like
front end,
maybe
dude.
as
I mean,
us, we see things on the back end, okay, and we know about what's going on. But like you have to spin around and look at it. Remember the whole perception is reality pseudo bullshit that
no,
I
but
talk about? Like you have to look at it from the customer's perspective. If they log on to
I
Twitch and it lags, just like fuck it, they just leave. They don't care that they're behind on the infrastructure. They don't care that setting up renting data centers in Europe is hard. They don't care that it's hard for a small like they don't give a fuck. They'll
no,
just go
no,
to
no. What,
YouTube
what
and
I'm
watch it.
what I'm saying is that the team that works on that side of it, the
Hmm.
just adding more servers in Europe and all that business has nothing to do with the team that's working on what our pages are like and what our the user experience is for the potential the people paying money, right, the people that are making the broadcasters ourselves and Twitch money. So that's a different group. Of course, those
Sure.
guys should be adding more servers in Europe. Of course, we want Twitch there to be no lag in Europe. I mean, that's assumed, but they could be doing this at the same time right now, right? I mean, they're completely two different problems.
Sure.
So, I mean, because you wouldn't even be talking about doing this crap, like offloading it to your site, right? I mean, obviously the split is one thing, but if you had more capabilities to do on your Twitch site, why would you even do that, right?
Sure. I mean, right now, Twitch is really good at offering like a stream, like a platform to stream from, but that's it right now, you know?
Yeah, yeah, but that's
So,
that's
like,
the majority of the majority of people don't want to go to the extent of creating their
of
own
what I'm doing.
website, yeah,
I mean,
and
I guess
creating
not,
their
but
own
like, so like,
chat
let's take it a step
architecture.
further, like, and I don't want to get all like crazy conspiracy, but let's say like this is realistic, okay? Everything that I'm talking about is realistic. So for sure, I'm building my own subscriber system and I'm building my own chat system on my website, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yep.
so people will have the ability. People, will, if they want to subscribe to me, they'll subscribe through my website, and then they'll have the chat, the fantasy log, all of that. What's to keep me? Okay, let's say that I have those systems perfect and everything is fine and functional on my site. We do bug testing and all that. Everything works. What's to keep me then from going to somebody like Dyrus or Phantom Lord or somebody with 2,000 subscribers and saying, "Hey, you have 2,000 subs. Okay, Twitch is giving you a 60-40 cut. If you give me like 5% of the money that you make on your subs, I'll sell you my platform." Like, bam, like Twitch would be instantly out, whatever cut they get from their subs. Like I could
That's
walk
not.
around and I could compete very easily. And this is me with like people working with me for free. Like I could very easily run around and compete with Twitch's platform because the offerings are so slim. Like I
But
could do that. What's
that's
keeping
not
me from doing it?
completely true though. I mean,
You
from a
know?
technical standpoint, sure, but there is benefits of being on the site because everybody's there. The discovery's there. The kind of organic hits that you're going to get are there.
Whoa, whoa,
You're not
whoa!
going to get
I'm not talking
organic.
about offloading their stream. I'm not talking about
Oh,
offloading their stream from Twitch. I'm
oh,
just
you're
saying
just talking
everything
about
else. Like I could
everything
sell
else.
them the
Okay, okay.
platform for a subscription service and a chat. I could do it my own, and it would be better than Twitch's. And I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm like a noob to the internet. Like, and the bottom line, the way that I would market that is, I would just go to somebody like I would go to Darius and be like, Darius, how many subs do you have? And Darius would go, oh, I have 2,000 subscribers. I go, you have 2,000 subs? That's really nice. What is your split with Twitch? And Darius would go, oh, I'm on a 60-40 split. Or I'm on a, even if he's on like, I'm on a 75-25 split. I'm like, oh, that's cool. So you get like X amount of money for each sub. That's cool. I'll offer you more than that.
All right. So are you going to
Do you
offer?
want
Are
to
you
do
going to
that?
offer him the emoticons too?
Whatever. Like I can do whatever. Like it's building a chat isn't hard. Making
I
it so that
know.
people can IP ban isn't hard. Like it's all really easy stuff. Payment processing for subscriptions aren't hard. It's not hard
I
stuff.
know. I know.
Like, and I could just go with the bottom line to these guys. Like, hey, do you want to make like an extra $2,000 a month? You want to make an extra $1,000 a month? Like, all right, just sign up with me. I'll take care of all the uploading the code to your site or whatever, and bam, you're done. You know.
Yeah, but still, I mean, Dyrus still needs a website. He still needs a different landing page,
I could
right?
sell them a package to my website too. Fuck. I mean, it's not hard.
Oh
None
my
of it's
god.
hard.
Seriously,
None of it's hard. It's all easy
Destiny.gg versus
stuff.
Twitch.tv.
No, no, it's not
Oh
a
my
verse. It's
god.
not a verse. I'm just saying that it's a little bit sad that me, as a dude with his dick on the internet and shit, like I could compete with him very easily. Like once this is done in 2 months, I could very easily run around to Twitch and pick up people and put them on my own quasi network where I, take a little bit off the top from the extra money that they're already making, and it would be like it would be a surefire business plan. It would be the easiest sale I've ever made in my life because there's absolutely no downsides. You know.
All right, so, if Twitch people are watching right now, if the cut was 20%, would you still be doing the same?
20% would be a little bit harder, but I could still sell it. It's payment processing. You're not even ad blocking. It's just payment
I
processing.
know exactly. I know.
It's easy to set up. I could probably I coded a little bit of shit when I was younger and like this beyond Dreamweaver shit, some object-oriented bullshit. I could probably go online, scour through GitHub shit, copy and paste, and hack together the right shit to make it fucking work, and then go on forums and post questions and get a payment processing system worked up. This is assuming that there aren't already very nicely made GUIs together to do it, which I guarantee you there are, where you
Yeah,
just
there
upload it to
definitely
the site, you click next, 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 and it sets up. Like you could do it for free. Like it's not hard to do. So like when I go onto when I look at the AMA and Twitch is talking about how like getting subscribers set up is very hard. Like right now the subscriber system is entirely manual, so we have a big backlog. Anytime somebody wants to get subscribers on their chat, they have to go through a physical employee at Twitch. Why? Coding that system wouldn't be hard. It might be hard for somebody like me, but if you got like engineers and developers, we're gonna be like, come on, like that's like ABC elementary shit. I guarantee you I could get 50 people from my stream right now to put together a system like that in less than like 2 or 3 days. To have it so that you push a button, you make a request on Twitch, like I want a subscriber button, and then it just automatically approves the request. Like how hard can that be to do? You know?
Well, it's not. I mean, a very simple version of it is seriously the PayPal subscribe button, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's the simplest form of it. But the problem is that a lot of people, okay. So first off, Steven, you're not an engineer, all blah blah blah. You're resourceful, right? You have a lot of people that can help you with this. So that's not very common with a lot of people, right? So so what they do is obviously provide a very simple offering for folks like pro players, right? Pro players don't.
Oh
Want
yeah,
to
but I was
spend
talking
time
about
doing
me
this shit.
versus. I was talking
I
about
mean, it's
comparing my resources to Twitch. Like I'm resourceful, yeah, but Twitch is way more resources available to them
sure.
than me. Like
Sure.
I've talked to the Gunrun enough. Unless I don't Gunrun, the Gunrun doesn't come off to me as somebody who's full of shit. He seems like a really smart guy.
Yeah, Justin's
I understand that
really
he's
smart
really
shit.
busy with shit, so he probably doesn't have the time to like go sit down and like hammer out these kinds of applications. But I guarantee you that people working for Twitch are smart enough to do it. I just don't understand.
Yeah,
why it
I
has to
mean,
happen.
it's not. I mean, I think they do understand what's going on here, and I think see, I wasn't even real. I didn't even know that the ad blocking had been taken away. So I don't know. Maybe it's a sign that they are changing the subscription. I mean, I know you're afraid that they're just going to take it away completely. But the thing is if they end up changing the subscription, and especially they end up changing it to our benefit, and they're adding features and stuff like that, then I mean, if you have everybody offloaded, then you could be. I mean, you could be in a situation where you have to where you're wanting people to come back to Twitch, right? Like, what if they did
Why?
something that was integrated into the actual stream itself? You know, something really
That'd
cool.
be good. No, that would be good. Like I'm saying, like that would be good shit.
Yeah.
The whole point that I'm making isn't that I'm gonna go put Twitch out of business or I can't wait to steal their subs.
That's
The
just
point that
not
I'm
gonna
making is that I'm a relatively normal person who's got decent resources available to me. It should be really hard. There should be a giant barrier to entry to compete with Twitch's subscription system. But right now there is none because there is nothing being offered on the subscription system. You know, nothing that I can't have my web developer, code and finish. Like he's probably gonna have the payment processing thing like this week. Like,
Yeah,
there's
I mean,
nothing that I personally can't have somebody throw together for free in like a couple weeks. That's not good. That means that if the barrier to entry is so low that you could outdo Twitch like that, like they need to like get their shit up, you know?
Well, you're just basically saying that they should be leveraging the fact that you're using their platform and integrating things that are, inside this platform that you can't do externally. Like, I totally get that. It's just like, what are those things, dude? Like, what are those things? It's.
I mean, the most basic thing is a bigger split, which is what I'm working on.
But that has nothing to do with that has nothing to do with features. That's just completely a rev share thing, right? That could change tomorrow. That literally could change tomorrow.
In a way, it does have to do with features. Because if Twitch offered a fuck ton of features for subscribers, like here's a feature that Twitch could do that I would have a very hard time outdoing. Let's say Twitch mandates that if you were a subscriber, you saw a stream instantly without a delay, and everybody else saw a delayed stream. That would be a feature like, holy shit. Like, and then they were like, we only do 50-50 cut. It's like, man, 50-50 cut on subs sucks, but I mean, that's a really good feature that you're offering using your infrastructure. So that 50% that I'm losing isn't just a charity to Twitch, which is exactly what it is right now. It's like, okay, like I lost half, but like it's going towards like some really good fucking benefits. Like to see a non-delayed stream is really cool, you know?
Yeah, but we control whether it's delayed or not. Like I control it. Like I don't want people to see necessarily a real time.
Well, let's say
stream,
like for
right?
League, I play League and I've got to delay on my stream so that people don't stream snipe, right?
Right.
But if you're a subscriber, that would be cool if you could see it live. It'd be awesome, no?
Well, I mean, that means they're taking that ability away from you as the broadcaster. Is that what you would want? I mean,
No. Like you would have the option, obviously, on your site to customize it. Like, do you want your viewers to see a delay? You know?
okay, all right, sure.
Or
I mean,
what about, like, the
hypothetically
option
speaking,
for-
sure. Okay.
What about the option for like once you've got so many subscribers, you can unlock higher quality transcodes? You know? So like I stream at 1080p, 48 frames per second. What if you hit like 250 subs, you get the option to make it so that your 720 encode is still at 48 frames per second, or has like better audio quality or shit like that, you know? Like what if you could, like those are just two like really random ideas that I just pulled out of my ass right now. But like you could see how there's stuff that Twitch could do with their specific architecture because of all the things that they have available on their side that would make a cut from the subscriber fee like worth it. Like at that point it'd be like, okay, like I understand why you're taking the cut. It's actually going towards something real. Right now, I wouldn't set up anything less than 90-10 because it's just a payment processing. It's all you're doing for me, you know?
Right. I mean, again, so you're talking mostly about just the technology and the something that's enhanced from the standpoint of their platform.
Sure.
Because because there's not many things I can think of that you couldn't offsite. Like even just things that make let's just say like subscriber giveaways easier, right? That's another thing. Like any kind of widgets and that sort of thing. I guess those are all possible to code outside of it. So yeah, it'd have to be something dealing with quality of the stream or like delays and stuff like you're talking about. So yeah, that's true. But if they didn't take a split, then there wouldn't be this necessity to have them do these things, right? Like, so okay, we'll see what they do. I mean, they have to. I feel like they have to reply in some way. Like, I'm not even sure how Turbo's doing.
I mean, obviously it's not good if they're pushing it really hard.
I mean, they've been pushing it for a long time, but like, look at our chart right now. I saw Nathanias with the Turbo. That's about the only guy I've seen with Turbo. Okay, there we go. Dulo Crazy has Turbo too. Okay, well, we'll see. Anyways,
can you name the last big thing that Twitch did in changing their platform?
The last big
on
thing?
your end. Yeah, what was the last big thing?
On my end, shit. Honestly, I mean, yeah, honestly,
the
I
last
can't think
thing
of
that I
anything.
can remember
can't think of
is
anything.
transcodes.
Emoticons, maybe. What?
Okay.
What?
Emoticons? The last big thing that I can think of was giving transcodes to people. That was maybe a year and a half ago.
Oh my god, that was a long time ago. Yeah.
Like, what other big feature upgrades?
There haven't been. I mean, I don't think there has been, honestly. I mean, I think they've opened up maybe the subscription to a little bit more people, but that's, yeah, I don't think from a feature standpoint they've given us much. I don't know. Maybe the viewers know. Yeah, I don't see anything in the chat either of anything new. So yeah, it's a good point, man. It's definitely a good point.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, yeah.
But okay, well, anyways, getting back to your business model and we didn't talk about the fantasy league. What are you gonna do with your fantasy league, dude? I don't see anything on here about your fantasy league. What's going on?
I mean, the season's still running. At the end of this season, I'll cut it for a month, and then I'll get feedback, and we'll see if there's anything we need to change, and then we'll
How
keep
do I
going
even
after
get
that.
to it, dude? I don't even. Where is it on your site?
What do you mean?
I'm looking for it. Like, where the fuck is it? Fantasy league? Where is this?
Um, in the top right, it says league.
Oh.
Top right?
Oh my god, dude.
Maybe I need to make that icon
UI
bigger.
101, dude. Come on. Okay, cool. How many users you got right now?
I don't even
For the
know.
fantasy.
I'm not sure.
No idea.
I'm sure I could look it up soon, but I mean, it's, I don't know, hundreds, thousands.
Thanks.
Man, I don't know.
I
Go
know.
sign up for it and tell me what
Sure,
place you're
sure.
in, and that'll tell us.
Yeah. All right, why don't we take a quick break here, and we'll continue on with our little damsel, our little damsel trope discussion. I think we'll have here, and then we'll do some Q&A with you guys. And if you want to ask questions, ask them in the Reddit thread. Currently, you'll find the Reddit thread here. Let's see. Let me link it real quick, and just post your questions in the comments, and I will read them off in just a second. But until then, let's do some music, and we'll take a quick break. All right, we're back from break, and That Twitch chat was unexpected. We weren't definitely wasn't on the agenda today, but let's talk a little bit about the whole damsel in distress trope. Somebody wanted to talk about that in the chat, and I think we might have mentioned it last week too. That we might talk about the part 2. If those of you don't know what I'm talking about, it's Anita Sarkeesian's trope versus women in video games. Did you take a look at that, Steven?
Yeah, I saw it.
All right, thoughts. What are your thoughts?
It's fascinating. This is like a whole other like 6-hour stream, I think, to really get into
I know. All right, so let's limit it to 10 minutes. Go.
I mean, I think her videos are really worthless. It's pretty much just goes through games and shows pretty shitty representations of women, which I think most all of us agree are pretty shitty representations. She goes through and she says, we hate women. Or not we hate women. She just says there's really bad portrayals of women being damseled and all that shit over and over again. And then that's it. I think that's pretty much the entire video.
That's probably a good representation of the video, yeah. So I mean, maybe something that's worth talking about is, you know, the demographics for you know, female versus male playing console games, I guess. I'm not sure actually what it is. Well, console and PC, right, are pretty close these days, right? It's probably like 55 to 45, right? Something like that.
For females in video games?
Well, female users and male users. When it comes to gamers, you know,
what kind of video games?
We're talking like console and PC. I think the percentage is like 45-55.
I'm gonna go with like 20-80 at best.
20-80? Oh my god. Maybe
Yeah.
I was looking at it the wrong.
No. There's a graph that says that like 45% of all gamers are females, but that includes things like Angry Birds and Solitaire.
Oh, so we're talking about mobile too. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I don't know what the exact breakdown is.
Okay, like, so that's probably okay. Of course, that's going to be the case. Okay, so let's just say it's 20-80. I mean, is that the main reason then that we're? I mean, most of these games are very male centric from the standpoint of the main character is male, right? And isn't that the root
it's one of those.
this?
It's like a circular. It's a circular thing. Like
Yeah.
most of the market is male, therefore you spend all of your advertising on males, and then because you're spending advertising on males, you don't attract females. So it kind of circles around like that, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So it's. I mean, they do. There's definitely are games that are very, you know, the main character's female, you know, things like Tomb Raider and just a lot of other games, but I don't know. It's like you know, right now, obviously, a lot of females are playing these games that are male. You know, the main character are male. But do you think there would be the same reaction? Like, do you think a lot of males play games where the female, like where the main characters are females? Is there some kind of
I don't think
there?
I don't think most men care. I could be wrong. It might be like the 12-year-olds, or even then, I don't even think like how many guys didn't buy Tomb Raider because they were like the main character's a female, isn't it? Fuck that, you know?
Yeah.
Or how many people didn't play Heart of the Swarm because you play Kerrigan? Or how many people didn't play Parasite Eve on the PlayStation because you were female? Or how many people didn't play Portal? I mean,
That's true.
I don't think it's a big effect. I mean, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't think so either. So I don't know. Maybe it's not worth talking about too much, but
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean, like I said,
that
it's
video
not,
is kind of painful to.
That her videos are really very simple. Like it's more like there's this bad thing that exists in video games where females display X trait, and I'm gonna go through and list all the games where females display that trait, and then that's the video, and it's like.
Yeah. I mean, you can generalize it to the point where it's like you could do that with anything, right? Just picking.
I mean, a little bit, but it's more
every...
so that just like there's no real point to it. Like, what am I supposed to take from it? Like that women being portrayed as dead, and then you have to avenge them is like a bad thing. Like, I mean, I guess that kind of sucks if it happens an overwhelming majority of the time. But like, does anybody really disagree? How many people on the internet actually disagree with the notion that the fact that the majority of the time the character is male? It would be. I feel like it would be more interesting to hear. To hear more conjecture based around like possible solutions or the effect that it has on gaming rather than like it. So like here would be like an interesting question for Nady. Why don't you do a video where like if we were to have it so that more games had strong female characters, do you really think that would increase the amount of females that play video games? Like questions like that being explored by psychologists and maybe even sociologists, that would be a lot more interesting than it's really bad that this happens to girls and here's 20 games where it happens, because at that point it's like,
I agree.
I mean, like, I guess, like, it's just a waste of fucking
I
time.
agree. I
Like,
mean,
don't
it's
need
just
to,
like somebody pointing out a problem and not having, not having any ideas on how to fix it, kind of thing. And that's
yeah.
the main thing about
Also,
it. She's just
some of her arguing is really flawed too. Like, I don't like how she keeps saying like women are worthless, so we treat them as prizes to be won back. And then she tries to say that like the only reason why story writers use this as a lazy plot device is because we're emotionally attached to women so easily. It's like, well, you're double dipping. Do we
yeah,
really not like women, and that's why we don't take them seriously at all, or do
right.
we actually really like women, and that's why it's so easy to use it as a plot device? Like the double dipping happens a little bit there. But I mean, it's largely irrelevant. I just feel like her videos are ultimately pointless. Like, it doesn't really
Yeah,
tell us
like
anything.
if she did end up spending more time talking about just more creative type of plots lines that would combine maybe this sense of equality in both in both sexes, then that would definitely be more productive than just always pointing out. Basically she's just pointing out the
Really,
different permutations of the damsel in distress one, right? Like the
yeah,
refrigerator,
more or
like
less, yeah,
the damsel in the or whatever in the refrigerator or whatever,
yeah.
and
I mean, like, we're- oh man, my brain just farted. Sorry, go ahead, talk more.
no, but I think that's really her point.
My brain
Like
screwed it up. Sorry.
go ahead.
Is it really justifiable to tell game companies that they need to spend more time appealing to a minority? Does that seem kind of like this seems kind of like a strange like you've got a whole other side there where like where do we as consumers get off telling businesses what to do to explore options that would be worse for profit than other options? Like I want you to start taking a whole bunch of risks and making new IP that all revolve around female characters. Like why do we tell them to do that in the hopes of attracting a new market?
Yeah.
Like that would be like going up to Gucci or I don't know who Prada who makes female stuff and be like, you need to start designing male shoes, Prada, or do they
Well, they
make
do.
purses?
They do. I think.
Oh, whatever.
I think they do.
Somebody that makes only female shoes to go up and be like, start making male shoes because not enough men are buying your shoes. And it's like, well, fuck, like I don't want to do that. Like, why? Like 90% of your consumers are female. That's wrong.
Yeah.
Like, well, I mean, we could advertise to men, but then like that could be worse than everything. Like, we don't give a fuck. It's like, well, whatever. You know?
Yeah. I mean, it's you know, it's a hard subject to talk about because obviously, brutalizing women is not a good thing. In real
Oh, no, I
life,
mean, it's
in real
fine.
life,
It's fine. Oh, in real life,
I
obviously.
mean, so,
But there are no, I don't
it's
believe that there are any valid studies linking playing violent video games to violent behavior in real life. I could be wrong, and I don't have sources on hand for this stat, but I'm pretty sure that video games are more popular now than they ever have been at any point in history. That's pretty common sense, right?
yeah,
Like more people
obviously,
play games today than
obviously.
10 years ago. And I do know as a statistic that violence is trending downwards and has been for the past like 15 years, at least in the United States. So as video games have become more popular and violence is trending down, it seems strange to say that all of these video games are making people so incredibly violent when games like Call of Duty sell so many titles and shit, like that just seems kind of
Yeah, I mean, I think it's funny because when in a roundabout way, she was basically talking about. I think it's more about just lack of originality. I think maybe in the plot, but she's using kind of the whole feminist angle to really, get more views, get more views in a way, right? Because
and that's a big
it's
problem with her video too, because then it turns into pretty much a circle jerk. Because her videos are all circle jerks. I don't think there's anybody intelligent, or anybody intelligent or anybody stupid who would watch her video and go, "Wow, I agree with her," because all of her arguments, I believe the phrase is begging the question, where it's all kind of circular logic. Like it starts off with, "I'm a feminist, and I'm going to tell you all these things are bad, and these things are all bad because I'm a feminist," and it's like, well, fuck, like if I'm a feminist, I'm already going to agree with everything she says in her videos. And
right.
if I'm not a feminist, like if I really was really strong set in the fact that I love watching women get beaten up and raped in video games or whatever, like then I would just watch her videos and go, fuck you, bitch, this is all wrong. Fuck feminism, it's all crazy. Like fuck you, blah blah. And she hasn't given me anything to think about that would really change my opinion on it.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you there. Yeah, so I don't know. Nothing's going to change. I mean, I think you're absolutely right on the mark where nothing's going to change from that video just because, it's like, again, it's the unfortunate, those plot lines, is whether you like them or not, they sell, right? I mean, there people
Well, and it's not even
like
such
them,
that
people buy
they
them,
sell. It's just
so.
that, like, if you studied, like, take any kind of upper level English course, and you go over things like, I'm pretty sure there are only like 12 unique plots, like in any story ever. Are you familiar with that?
Yeah. Yep.
I don't remember. I don't know if it was a Greek guy. I don't remember. There's like some big fucking
I know
trial, but like pretty much, or Shakespeare. Somebody talked about it. I don't know. But there's only like 12 unique storylines, And when you're talking about a video game, whose story comprises like less than 1% of the total play bullshit, then of course the story is going to be really fucking cheap and easy. So like, what's the easiest way to give motivation to somebody? Well, his parents, his girlfriend, his wife, somebody died, his children, somebody got killed, and like
Yeah.
that's like a revenge. Like
Yeah.
it's a really, really easy motivator. Like if you're just making a lazy fucking story, or like the princess got captured, like bam, throw down, you got a game. Like
No, I agree. I agree. Okay, well, that's the 10 minutes that we were spending on that, but I think it was good. A good 10 minutes talking about that, and I don't know. You guys check out that video and tell us what you guys think. All right, what's next on the menu here today? Let's see. I think maybe we can just go to the questions here. We'll start going through these questions on the Reddit thread, and let's start at the bottom here, sorting by new. And a lot of good questions. I was telling Steven earlier, it's just like we could have done a whole show today just on the questions being asked here. So, all right, same guy that asked about the Anita Sarkeesian thing also asks, how important is it that star players have exciting personalities? Bogus and Sulky are very reserved, for instance. It's, yeah. So I guess that's the question. He has like a bunch of questions, but that's the first one. What's your thoughts?
Well, that question was in regards to the end of a tournament, wasn't it?
Of course, it's always has to do with
Yeah.
I think the celebrations and that sort of thing.
I mean, there's not much you can do about it if the guy is like full on downs. I don't want to say that, but like full on like.
It's boring.
Did you see the
It's just-
video? There was a video that was popular on YouTube recently where a kid won a spelling bee. Did you see it?
It's linked in there. Yes, I saw
Yeah,
that.
and he just like
I
sits there and
saw that.
stares. Like, I mean, if they're gonna do
The
that, there's no,
confetti
like-
falling too. Everything.
Yeah.
He's just sitting there staring like. But,
I don't know if it's standard operating procedure in other tournaments, but I would imagine that in any tournament or any award ceremony, they always go over with like the top two, like the finalists. They always go over the award ceremony before the game is played. You know, even if they're going to lose, just so they know what to expect, right?
Oh, yeah, I think so. I think I imagine they would at least prep them for what's going to go on. Like confettis are going to be flying down, or you're going to go over there and pop open a champagne bottle in front of a bunch of fans or whatever it is.
Yeah. What was the one? What was it? Was it Hero who won DreamHack and they gave him the bottle of champagne? He had no idea what to do with it.
That's every dream hack. That's like I was talking
No,
to
like
Robert. I
the
was
worst one. It was like he just sits, like had it, and they tried to show him like 8 times how to open it, but he couldn't. He had
Yeah,
no
I think
idea.
it was DreamHack. It was either DreamHack or NASL.
Oh, was
I'm
it
pretty
Linak?
sure
It was Linak.
It was Linak. Okay, yeah, it's one of them. But I
And
mean,
then he eventually like, shook it and like opened it and just like stood there, and it was like.
exactly, most awkward moment. And I was telling Robert, I was like, man, he insists on doing it. He's still gonna do it every single time. But I just think it's the weirdest, most awkward thing ever. But like for my answer for that question is, I don't think you can't change the player. I mean, if the player's not going to get excited, he's a very reserved person. He's not going to do anything very overt. It's just not going to happen. So I think it's the responsibility of the production to do something that makes up for it. And
Definitely.
an idea, honestly.
Production.
Yeah. So here's an idea. So the GSL, like the Korean finals, right, where Sulky won, right? Sulky is not the most overt guy. Obviously, he was kind of emotional, where he was kind of tearing up. But one thing you could have done is you could have had his family just come up to the stage, right, and start hugging him and that sort of thing too. That in itself is kind of cool to see, and that's he doesn't have to be a very interesting person for that to convey something, right? From an entertainment standpoint. So I think the production, there's a lot of ideas that people can do to make up for the player not necessarily going crazy. I mean, when you have somebody like Harstem or Damaga, really just like freak out, not freak out, but just really react and be super happy. That's when it's like golden. But most of the time you're not going to get that. These guys are just practicing machines. You know what I mean? They don't do that much outside of play StarCraft. So you won't see it. Even when Stefano wins, you know what I mean? It's not like he's not jumping up and down going crazy. That doesn't happen with him. It's just he's kind of funny and goofy in the interviews, and I guess that kind of makes up for it. So, all right, next question. Let's see. How do pros, and he puts you as an example, get in a good mindset, pump themselves up right before an important game? What do you do, man? You
It's
break
probably
out.
different for everybody.
You break out push-ups?
No, I just always went and played. No, there are some people who are like really fucking picky. Like I know Grubby is like crazy. He has to have his like keyboard and everything set up perfectly, and he has to go
Oh,
to the bathroom like after every game and shit or something. It's like I don't know. I imagine it's probably different for every person.
so is it more routine or is it more? You think it's like this golfer's
Like
routine type of thing, or
yeah, I mean, like I said, it's probably different for every person. You could ask every
yeah,
person and probably get a different answer.
gotcha, gotcha. Okay, so Adeline asks, well, okay, so he'll be. Will there be talk about spawning in SV2? Just curious. You quick questions on CTL. Yeah. So talk about. Do you know the whole thing about spawning? So
I've heard about it. Are you gonna be able
yeah.
to play UMS games?
No. So Blizzard's actually going to allow folks, or they just announced spawning will be available for StarCraft 2,
Hmm.
meaning folks with full copies of the game will be able to group with people that don't have the game, but they do have the client, right? They'll download the client, but they have this. I forgot what they call it. It's like starter edition or something. And then if
Hmm.
you party with somebody that has a full version, you'll be able to play ladder games and stuff like that. I think you can
Hmm.
only play the Terran race, but you'll have at least the ability to get some features that the full version has.
Oh, if UMS is allowed, that's really cool.
What is that? UMS?
If UMS is allowed, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. I wonder if it is. I don't know if it is actually. They didn't talk about it at all in the video, but so something. I don't know. And you guys know if the arcade is available to folks with starter edition? Okay, so this is UMS is allowed. Yeah. So it's all races. I could have sworn that Cloakin said it was only Terran. Huh. Okay. Maybe I misheard on that video. But yeah. Anyway, so that's kind of. I think it's their way of doing the free to play. Like it's kind of a compromise between free to play and that sort of thing. Because they did it in Warcraft 2 and Brood War, I think, for a while. So
No, yeah, Brood War was always like that. You could always spawn games in Brood War.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, I think it's they're a little compromise to try to get some. It's a good idea. Oh, did you hear about the client too? They're coming out with a new client, a desktop client.
Yeah, I heard that, but those were all rumors, weren't they?
They're rumors, but they kind of sound real,
It looked,
honestly.
yeah, yeah. I mean, that looked pretty cool.
So at least we can chat.
A lightweight ability to connect to chat channels would be nice. I don't
Yeah,
know if anybody
that
here
would be.
was ever hardcore into Battle.net, but there used to be a thing called StealthBot, I think. They would let you log onto Brood War or Warcraft
Oh,
channels, chat channels.
nice, nice. No, that'd be really cool because because you wouldn't have to have the game itself loaded, and tax your computer while.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really cool. Yeah, so the client I think is a really good idea. It just again it's another aspect that's going to enhance the social side of StarCraft and especially those groups too, right? The group chats will actually have a bigger impact now. Okay, let's see another next question. Can you guys speculate as to why MLG's production value and handling of WCS anyway is so poor relative to the other two regions? It just seems strange as they have a long storied history of running live gaming events, aka a shit ton of experience. I'm sure this has been circle jerked to death, but this is the only SE related show I'd watch, so I'd love to hear your opinion on it. Wow. Okay. Well,
I
I
don't know,
appreciate
man.
you watching.
I would
But,
like to see. I would like to see somebody interview Sundance about it, and like a good interviewer. Like,
I think so. I think Richard might have Sundance on Heavens, eSports Heavens tomorrow. So he's a good
sure, if he
interviewer.
can ask the
Yeah.
hard questions, like I want to see like some really fucking hard questions asked. I would be and not like the I get it, I get it, I get it, like those
Yeah.
Sundance answers. Like
Yeah.
to really know like what the fuck is going on, why, and not like well we just didn't have our shit together. Like it's not gonna answer. Why didn't you have your shit together? Like what the fuck is going on? Why are these other
Well,
two regions so much ahead of you? You have so much venture capital invested in you. You have so much. How can the production still be this bad? What are you going to do to change it? What can we like physically see that's going to be absolutely different the next time you do this as opposed to now? What can we actually look for? Questions like that would be interesting. If it's just another fluff bullshit,
well, I mean the production for the finals, I have to say, I was watching it. I was watching it while I was setting up Star Strikers. I even had it running, believe it or not, in the background while I was doing my event. That's how much I support NA. Is that I'm not even watching it; I'm still running them. But the thing is I don't think the production was actually that bad. I mean, it looked nice.
What do they have casting it?
I mean, they had Bitterdam for one of the, part of the day, or just part of it, and then they had Axelab and Axeltosh the finals and that sort of thing. So the Rotterdam part, not the Bitterdam part was, a lot of people loved it. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, everybody loves Bitterdam. Oh yeah.
right, exactly. And obviously, I think. So the caster quality, I know if you compare, like, let's just say EU and GSL, right, or Korea, and NA, the casters are probably a higher grade in both EU and Korea, and there was no host, right, in NA versus like EU. Red Eye was there, and we talked about a little bit with the Carmack about this. Having a host is a huge deal, with a production like this, right?
Sure.
Given it's supposed to be kind of this, it's more of a live event. It's kind of a pseudo hybrid live event versus an arena. So
I know a lot of people.
Really
I wish I would have watched now, but I know that a lot of people were saying things like it felt like watching the finals felt like watching a show match rather than a full-on tournament. Just felt like they were watching like a show match being played online.
A little bit like that. But that's, I don't know. It depends how you go into it. I never thought that, but I can maybe see folks seeing that. The biggest thing for me is that there was no crowd, right? There's no real live audience there. So that's a big
because
deal.
they're doing it in fucking New York, which is questionable in and of itself.
Yeah, they have a few people in there, but it's not considered a live audience to me. So that could be helped.
Here is something that I would put on like the dark and edgy questions. Like if you wanted to be like the darkest and edgiest interviewer, and you wanted to ask like the really fucking hard questions, what I would be curious does MLG get any financial compensation from Blizzard for hosting WCS events? Do you know?
I do not know that answer.
Because then that puts like an additional liability on MLG to do an even better job, because now it's not even entirely their money, because now Blizzard is fronting the money too, and they're still taking shortcuts like launching it or doing it in New York. Yeah, that'd be an interesting question. But I don't know if they get any money from Blizzard or not for doing WCS.
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that. I suspect it's not a lot. Because they're benefiting. This thing is almost an exclusive thing these days, right, with the partners. So
well, like Blizzard provides the entire prize pool at the very least, don't they?
Yeah, they do that. Mm-hmm.
So
I guess that's, if you count that, sure.
That's kind of big. I don't know how big
Blizzard's sponsoring, obviously the official brand and sponsoring of the whole thing, but do they pay? I don't think MLG's not considered a contractor that's or a consultant that's coming and doing this. They're actually partners in this, right? So I think that's their portion of it. So I don't think Blizzard actually pays them, but MLG obviously makes whatever ad revenue and that whole bit, right?
It'd be like, let's say that Blizzard is paying out the same amount to every region, and even if it's just the prize pool, well, using that additional money, we saw the production DreamHack did, and then the production that we got out of Korea.
Mm-hmm.
But then to see MLG fall behind, it's like, were you just trying to piggyback on Blizzard's tournament to get free views without really putting forth much effort because they were covering the prize pool and everything? That's like a really negative question. Like I said, I would have to know the actual answers to those questions to see if it's even worth asking. But that's a kind of that would be like kind of like a really fucking hard question that would be interesting to hear an answer to.
Yeah, and one of the things that we talked about when I had Carmack on is, and actually I had Robert Olin on too at the same time, climbing the ladder, which was surprising, is it might be kind of a cultural thing, like we were talking about how, like, here in NA, especially MLG, we're all about professionalism. We're all about, like, the casters all wearing suits, awesome suits and looking like ESPN and that whole bit, right? While over in EU, IEM and Carmack, they're willing to do goofy ass shit, like Carmack dressing up in a freaking, just crazy things, right? Apollo dressing up in some crazy costume. Those type of things, I feel like our community, the esports community, it just resonates with them, and it's the sort of thing that that the Europeans just do more often. So, what do you think about that? You think it is a cultural thing?
I don't know. Not at all. Have you seen how big the audiences have been every time there's an event in California? Like, I don't believe that at all. But
like, what do you mean? Like,
I think we can be just as hyped as any other continent.
Okay.
When it comes to esports stuff, I don't think there's a cultural thing that demands professionalism from us. Like, we might like to see it, but NA people still turn in. It's not like there are no NA people. I haven't ever seen an NA person. Like, I was gonna watch that. I was gonna watch the DreamHack stuff, but the guys were so goofy. They weren't professional at all. Like, I've never heard that in my life.
Yeah, that's true. So one thing we're not saying. So I'm definitely not talking about past productions. MLGs have had. There's been some awesome MLGs. There's been some awesome IPLs and that sort of thing in NA. So the live productions, I don't think we can question that. There's been equally successful, in some cases more successful events. But we're talking in particularly with WCS, which is more of a studio-like environment. I mean, obviously, I think MLG or IEM seems to have a better sense of what a studio production should be like in terms of streamed, being streamed and that sort of thing. So I don't know. What do you think they should? Do you think they should try to copy some of the things that IEM are doing, or do you think we should come up with our own type of unique things that are, I don't know, NA specific?
I mean, like, what you're talking about is stuff that's, like, above and beyond. Like, right now it would be nice just to see them have, like, the basics down. Like, a live audience would probably be nice for the finals of a relatively large tournament, I think. Yeah. I don't think having two people playing in a room all by themselves and then... Like, I don't think that's very appropriate for the finals of a relatively major tournament. What was the first place prize for WCS NA?
I think it was 40,000.
Like, to have
20,000
to not have a live audience, I mean, it's a decent chunk of change for a gamer. So I mean, like, things like that seem to be like MLG doesn't even have to set itself apart right now; they just have to keep up.
Okay, so I guess your answer is just more I don't know, just doing the bare minimum, just do the basics, I guess.
At least, yeah, get the basics done, and then we could talk about other cool shit.
Well, I mean, the audience might be a limitation in just their studio, like their NA studio just might not be big enough. Which
what if they had like a studio audience like thing, like a soundboard? How cool would that be?
Yeah. Well, you know what, the IEM, that's the thing. The IEM audience is tiny too. But they have them kind of on two levels, kind of like a bleacher type of thing. So it makes it look, I don't know, it makes it look more like a, like there's more people and it's like a true larger live audience feel. And that's the type of thing that they do, what I mean? They do that, they think through that, I think, and they try to mimic it and address it versus, just not doing it at all. Like, I don't know if you watched WCS EU, but they had this whole... it was Red Eye's idea, apparently. They had this WCS extra show at the end of every broadcast, every time they did WCS EU. And it would just be, this completely casual type of, like, interview and just super fun type of 15-minute show at the end. And, it's just, like, ideas like that. We just need more of those kind of ideas, I think, for WCS.
And MLG has even done that before, kind of. Like when they would have, like... They would have like a state of the game or something after MLG and everybody
like
goes to show. Like they've done that, like they've done that before, haven't they? I know they have. I've seen it happen before.
I mean, it's happened once, I think, in Anaheim, where the Flash, when Flash first made an appearance in Anaheim, they had the.
So I mean, like they've even got like the people out there that would do it for free,
Yeah,
like there are already shows existing, like State of the Game or Instant the Game, where people would do that. Like, just give them the stage and they'll set everything up. It's great exposure for them,
That's true. Yeah, that's actually a good point. Would we do Unfiltered at the end of MLG NA?
Sure, why not?
Oh god, they'd never have us fucking on, dude.
That'd be awesome, man.
It would be awesome, but they'd never make an episode.
It'd be better than what they have now, which is nothing, right?
True. Okay, next question. Let's see. God, that's a long-ass answer. Okay, we kind of addressed this, the whole excitement when winning. SuperStar Strikers, what are your thoughts about winning the team and its members? So the winning team was Kings of 10 and Wheat and Whack and Kaoken and Titanium. I think they're awesome. I think they were the best team, so they deserved to win. And Wheat and Whack, for those of you who don't know, Wheat and Whack and those guys, they practiced like 5 days before the thing. I mean, the tournament was conceived 6 days in advance. So they practiced like 4 or 5 days out of the 6 days leading up to it with their partners. So, yeah, they deserve to win because of that. So what are some future plans, additions for the next Superstar Striker tournament? So I will be doing another one. I don't know when it'll be. It won't be this month. The June's pretty crazy for everybody, so it'll most likely be July. And the plans are to, I think, include EUers, Europeans, if you can put up with the lag on NA. And I might introduce vetoes. But we'll keep it the same format. I'm probably going to have pros and personalities. I've been trying to get you, Steven, to try to take part. But maybe one day. but it's the same. It's going to be a similar format. The production will be a lot better. Like I wasn't planning on streaming this last weekend, and last minute somebody convinced me, like, hey, you need a base stream for the whole tournament. So I'm like, oh fuck. So I did it. So I had no overlays, nothing. So next time around, I promise it'll be much nicer looking and everything. All right, can you talk a bit about your new team? So I don't even know what is this person even talking about, Steven? Can you talk about
It's
your
not a
new
new.
team?
I just have like I've just been playing ring fights with different people. It's not like anything professional or set in stone yet. I've just been playing ring fights with different people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Will you be playing in tournaments like the one on Sunday?
Yeah, I'm trying to do those every weekend now.
Oh, okay, cool. And it says, will you be looking for sponsors and such things as team jerseys? Or is it mostly casual for the time being?
Right now I'm working towards building my site and everything up. I'm not looking for any external sponsors. I'm really picky when it comes to shit like that. I mean, like if fucking like Sennheiser or somebody wants to throw me a bone, I would do that. But otherwise, I'm good right now.
Sennheiser would be interesting. Okay, next one. Do you follow Games of Thrones? What do you think of the last episode?
No,
You don't watch it. You don't watch it, right? Well, no spoilers here, but I kind of are. I mean, of course, I kind of know what's going to happen if I read the books, but definitely a good episode, and maybe the best one this season. So it's probably the best one this season. So those of you check it out. Don't want to have any spoilers for you guys that haven't seen it. Favorite moments of WCS so far, all three regions. My favorite moments were, I think, Dima. I think those few moments where Dima won, especially that comeback against, I think Happy. Was it Happy? I think it was Happy, where there was that game that he absolutely should not have won, and he ended up winning it. I think those reactions from him were just classic, and I definitely remember them. I think that's it. I mean, that's probably my favorite moment so far. Some really cool games, obviously with Soul Key, and I think a few games even with Moonglade and NA were really, really cool. But yeah, that's kind of my favorite so far. What region did you enjoy the most overall, and why? WCS EU, for all the reasons we talked about a million times. You want to comment, Steven?
Sounds great. I haven't watched enough to give comments.
All right, Pelican666 asks, are you guys open to organizing a small DayZ tournament? Last team standing, most kills format kind of thing. Get it going, Steven. Blowjob, but no.
Maybe. It would be really interesting, but I don't know.
Okay. Will you add these to your team?
Get right on that.
Oh, what's your opinion regarding the Team Siren video?
They're amazing. They are going to outplay you and outsmart you and outbait you. It's going to be awesome. Did you watch the video?
Yes, I did. The chess thing was awesome.
Would have been fine, but they just shouldn't have made it so fucking hardcore because they all suck. Like, they don't.
Well, it's like it's funny because I don't think the video itself was, like you said, was that bad. Like,
it would have been a lot better if they were actually like all like Diamond 1 players or like Challenger players, but instead they're all like half of them are like Gold League and shit. So it's like, it doesn't make very much sense to use such a hardcore video, you know?
Well, I mean, if they use a shitty video, they use a casual-ass video, like, we're going to be shitting on it, too. So it's... You basically saying they shouldn't make any video?
They could make a video, but they just need to be more aware of what they're gearing it towards. Like, if I was going to make a video being like, come check out Destiny and play StarCraft 2, like, the video would be filled with, like, highlights of me doing really cute shit, like in fasters or drops or whatever. Right. But I wouldn't be cutting clips out of, like, Flash beating J-Dong or something like that, you know? Like, I wouldn't... Because it wouldn't make sense because that, like, my level of play isn't at that point, you know?
Yeah.
Or, like, and it would be even more cringeworthy. That's not even an appropriate analogy. Like, if I was in Gold League and started using those clips. Because the people that made the video aren't very good. Like, they're pretty mediocre players. And I don't mean mediocre like I was mediocre at StarCraft 2. I mean mediocre like being in Silver or Gold League in StarCraft 2. Like,
so average player, yeah. Like an average player overall. Crazy. Okay, let's see. Something about DDoS here. We talked about DDoS a ton, so I'm not going to ask this question for a reason. You can check out the VODs all about that. To Steven, how is Aslan? Has he been a healthy kitty? You never hear too many news about Aslan. I hope he is chilling on top of the cabinet like always.
Aslan's always chilling. You can check his Twitter out if you want updates, right?
He really has a Twitter account?
Yeah, he's got a Twitter account.
God, man, you're a boss, man.
You don't keep up with anything, do you?
Yeah. No, I don't. We talked about this yawning bison. Somebody just brought the team siren again. Why do your Nazi mods keep banning Wolfer Z?
I don't know. I have no idea. He just comes in the chat and spams like the Frank or Z face, right? What?
I don't know. I have no idea.
I don't know.
Let's see. Do you plan on making it into the next WLCS? How would you say, like, how far away do you think you are from actually trying?
I think I could be in the next one because I've still got like 6 months. I should definitely be at that level by then. If not,
Okay.
then I suck.
Good deal. Any prospective teams that you even know of? Or
There's not really nobody like recruits who does anything right now because LCS isn't for so long. Most teams aren't even practicing unless they're in the LCS.
Okay. All right. So this anonymous fan asks, "Hi Destiny, big fan. Are you the kind of beard guy that eats leftovers in your stashed beard or throw it away?"
No, what the fuck? Usually when I eat, I try to eat like a human being who doesn't just smash food on his face.
Also, can you give a shout out to my friend D-Bag Merlot, who's
No.
watching?
No, go to the next one.
Let's see. Will you still attend esports events, cast, as you did in the past? If so, what are the ones you would most like to attend and cast at?
Whenever
That's
I
a good
can.
question. Like, would you just attend it? You know, because I know you always told me that you would just go, and one of probably the biggest thing that you got out of going was interacting with fans, right, in person.
Sure.
That's kind of like the only way you can do it. So.
I thought about the upcoming Home Story Cup, but the problem is travel is so fucking expensive.
So why would you go to
But
Home Story Cup though? There's no fans there.
He asked me to cast. I don't know. People like.
Oh, he asked you to
That's
cast.
like when I
Oh,
cast and
okay.
shit.
Oh, okay. Okay. Would you ever go to like MLG Anaheim just to hang with?
Just to like chill with fans, it's
Yeah.
expensive. I would have to pay for the room. I'd have to pay for hotel plus flight, and then 3 days not streaming on a really lucrative weekend to stream because everybody else at a tournament. I don't know. Maybe like in the future, like if I've got like 30,000 viewers or like 20,000 viewers and I get a fuck ton of money and I don't give a fuck, maybe. But right now, it's just not. It doesn't make very much sense for me to do that.
Okay. Let's see. A lot of Twitch TV. Look what you started, man. Oh goodness.
Uh-oh.
Oh, here's a good question. Okay, so it says, Destiny, as you spoke about the new ideas, updates on Twitch, is there anything you had at Own3D that you would integrate into Twitch's system?
I don't know. Owned was. I don't know. I think my split for own TV subs was better, but I never ever got paid for it, so I don't know.
That's not really a split.
Yeah, I don't think Own had any feature that I liked. What did Own have that was a good feature?
Steven, do you think Twitch is going to essentially kill off itself by screwing over broadcasters? New Twitch partners that get a sub button don't even get ad-free stream feature anymore, but Twitch Turbo does. I feel like Twitch is taking too much of broadcast. Okay, we kind of talked about this. Do we think we're screwing over broadcasters? I mean, I think in general, it's still great for broadcasters. I mean, we still would not be doing this today without them. So it's hard to say that. So most of the things that we talk today are more nitpick than anything else.
Sure. Yeah.
God, so many questions today. Holy shit. Steven, in Anita's video, she made remarks about attempts by the video game industry to be dark and edgy, no less than 3 times. Dude, 3 times? I think she probably repeated it like 10 times at one point.
Yeah.
I feel like this was a direct assault on you and your stream. As your stream is the
No.
pinnacle of darkness and edginess. How will you respond to this? In my opinion, the only option is to go deeper. I know this may be difficult given how deep and edgy your stream is, but I think it would be great if you were to make your stream even darker and edgier.
We're gonna start watching pictures of like executions of women on my stream from now on.
Oh my god. Oh god. Okay. Alright, last question. This question about Twitch. And talking about Twitch platform and what they have, how do you feel if Twitch started accepting a kind of promotional fee that a streamer could pay to Twitch based upon a specified amount of time? something like paying to appear at the top of the directory, like feature, basically paying for feature placement. And there is that random button at the bottom of the directory of all pages, but I would say that very, very few users actually use the random button to see what is available in the lower viewer count channels. Maybe a premium or featured stream this week button would be better. Well, there is a featured stream that I have no idea how that works. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
you know, I always see like Grubby there and guys like that, but yeah, I have no idea how that works. So what do you think? Featured placement, being able to pay for it.
I mean, it seems okay, but it also kind of seems like the rich get richer, the poor get poorer kind of thing. Because like, if you only stream to 5 viewers, you probably don't have the money, or you don't want to pay whatever a couple $100 to get your thing at the front page of Twitch. So, but I mean, it could be cool. Although I don't know, I'd have to think about it. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with the idea.
Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with generally the idea, but it just really depends on where that placement is. I mean, if it's so prominent on the page, because let me before I say that, there's not much real estate right now to the discovery aspect of Twitch, like the left side, I guess you could say. So if this featured stream, given that there's so few streams that are even listed and there's a few categories that are listed, is like so prominent on that left side, I think it's a bad thing, because then, like you said, it's just about who has the most money, who can bid the most, right, to get it. So if it's like that, then I don't think they should do it. If it's like a featured placement on, I don't know. It's not like I don't know some of their channel pages, because I don't usually click on them. You know what I mean? I usually unfortunately get on it from other portals, get on different streams from other portals. So it's hard for me to talk about what kind of placement would be good. But generally speaking, feature placement I think is, banners and that sort of thing isn't a bad thing. The whole random button, yeah, I don't think random buttons generally work. It's usually good to have, like, you almost have to show the random stream on some kind of page,
Yeah, to see what's going on.
Yeah, versus having a button that somebody has to proactively press. That's just not going to happen. So, God, what is all this Giga Putty?
I have no idea.
God, even my fonts are sick on Giga Putty. But, alright, I think that's it for the questions. Alright, I'll do one more refresh and then we'll call it a day. Oh man, we got 8 more. Shit.
Oh shit.
Destiny, how many hours do you think you watch SE2 per week? Or LOL, actually, either. Or each of them.
Less than 1 for each. I like to play, man. I can't watch a lot.
That's cool. That's cool. Let's see. How did you manage to take care of yourself without 5 months pay? I think we talked about that a long time ago, right? Yeah. Bring yourself to... What do you know much about CGS? This guy asked, what do you think about bringing something like CGS back?
CGS.
Never mind.
What is it?
It's like a league back in the day. Yeah, never mind. We're not going to talk about it.
Never heard of it.
That's a 20 times higher bid. Why do you think that is? Okay, so here's a question from the Photos. Why do you think people like GSL production so much? It isn't that much better than the others. The quality of the stream isn't even the best. The downtime is terrible, yet no one complains about it. If it was a different tournament, everybody would. The casters are great, but I don't even think they're the best. Testosis has been getting some criticism lately instead of everyone circle jerking. Not saying GSL doesn't have good production, but I definitely do believe they have... I definitely do not believe they have amazing production.
I mean, the reputation is huge. Like, they could fuck up quite a few events and still have a good reputation. Well, I mean, not quite a few, but...
Yeah.
Everybody also loves Tastosis, so...
Yeah. Their track record, I think, for the longest time has been amazing, and I think because of that, yeah, it's just... It gives them a lot of leeway on some of the production. I mean, their production's never bad, you know what I mean? It's just not necessarily the best, which is fine. That's actually completely fine, especially when you have... I mean, the reason we watch GSL is for the best players. So as long as the production's actually adequate, it's okay. I mean, a good example is Pro League. Okay, guys, like the casters are definitely not the best in Pro League. The production's definitely not the best, but it gets consistent good numbers. So the players make a big difference. Yeah. But, all right, dude. I think that's going to be it for questions this week. So pretty crazy amount of topics today. But we good for next week?
Yeah, we should be.
All right. Oh shit! I forgot to change this. Holy crap! I forgot to change the topic from Damsel. Everybody's been waiting for Damsel in Distress topic to continue on for an extra 30 minutes. Yeah. But chat's pretty much definitely deteriorated into Gigaputty. So you want any shout outs you want to do?
I want to give a shout out to my own wonderful YouTube channel. I just recently started my own channel finally. If you go to my website, you can just click below and you'll click to that.
Jesus, God.
Fuck you.
Did you transfer over? Did you transfer over all the videos too?
No, I'm just it's just my own personal stuff. Okay. Yeah, I'll keep running the other channel too. I'll have the guy that keeps running the other channel do that too.
Oh, okay, cool.
Shout out to Brandon from the CRT League. You can visit that at crtleague.com. I'll be playing on a tournament sometime in June. That's cool. And shout out to Phoenix Collections for making cool shit. Hopefully their keyboard should be out very soon. Hopefully within the next month or two. And that'll be exciting. And shout out to my web developer guy because he's fucking amazing. I love him very much.
Awesome. Just one guy, or you have a team of guys?
Oh no, it's one guy. He's amazing.
Really? Okay. Nice.
Yeah, he's a good shit. He had time for my website and Desiree's website.
You paying him?
Like what?
You paying him?
No, I want to, but he says he doesn't accept my cash.
Oh my god, dude. Please message me, dude. Please message me. You can do my site too. No, but cool, very cool. No, that's one cool guy. That's one cool guy, man. Doesn't you don't have to pay him. He does all that work for you. Shit. So okay, my shout outs. Big shout out to you, obviously, for doing these shows with me every week. It's always a lot of fun. And shout out to the viewers for watching, obviously, and my mods for for a while for manning the channel. The channel's been pretty crazy, I think, since. And I think that's about it. And let's see, let me plug my other shows. So tomorrow night, Wednesday night.
Shout out to Twitch.
Shout out to Twitch. We love you,
Sarah,
Twitch.
maybe.
All right, this is just I don't know about this guy, but I love you guys. But so tomorrow night, Wednesday night Sprites, 10:30 p.m. Eastern. We play Arcade, Machine, Living Pink, myself, Tempo, and a guest. Not sure who the guest was yet. And then Thursday, Climbing the Ladder with myself, John Clark, Richard Lewis, and our guest will be Hellspawn. So it'll be fun seeing Hellspawn and Richard Lewis spar a little bit, given their history. So check that out. Check out the VOD for this episode on youtube.com/ChanmanV. I will upload it immediately after this. All our past episodes are there too. You can find.
You should get, dude. You should get an episode of whatever show would be the most appropriate, where you have Sunset. Climbing the Ladder. Well, yeah, you get Sunset and Richard on a show to argue about something. Cause those
oh
two
god, everybody's been asking for that, dude.
Yeah, do it. Be the first. Come on, man, jump on that shit.
Oh god. Oh, that would be ugly, dude. That would be so
amazing. Ugly. Just do it. It'd be fucking awesome. Come on, man.
God, just like trying to get me in trouble here. I don't. Maybe one day. I mean, obviously Richard would have to agree to that. That would just be fireworks, like non-stop fireworks. But anyways, okay, guys. Well, that's gonna be it. So we will see you next time. Peace.
Rip in peace.